1-minute recap of the latest gaming updates, anime news, and TV series. On today's episode, we're reviewing Agatha All Along, Season 1, Episode 4. If I can't reach you, let my song teach you. I'm Unbiased Anne. I'm here with Genesis.
What up?
How's it going?
I don't know. You made the name of that sound real country.
I know I sure did. If I can't reach you, let my song teach you.
All right. No news today. We're almost back on schedule. So I don't know when this will be released, but it won't be too far after episode 4 was actually released. So let's get into it. The end of episode 3, it looked like Kitty had died.
Yes.
In the beginning of episode 4, Kitty died? Question mark?
Yeah.
The only reason I say that is because Agatha said something weird to her as she was laying there. So it's just like we don't really know what that means.
Yeah, agreed. And I think we both are like, no, this is not the end.
So I'm gonna just go ahead, since it's brought up right now, I'm gonna just go ahead and throw that out there as something that one thing that I didn't like about this episode. There was more and more secrets. As more and more things are being revealed about the characters, there's more and more secrets. Like what did that mean when she said that? And okay, so in this episode, apparently to continue down the road or to be a full covenant, which I guess I agree with, regardless if it's needed or not, they needed to replace Kitty, who was a green witch.
Right.
So they all did this spell, right? And they all gave the characteristics that they would want in a replacement green witch to be summoned. Okay. Yep. And when they did this, who popped up?
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza's character popped up out the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. So then they're going down the road again and they find yet another house. Where again, because bad character development, Alice didn't want to go in.
Yeah, really badly. Did not want to go in.
But as you know, the road makes you, they went a different way and the house popped up there. So they decided to go in and they find out that they're being cursed. But it wasn't just any curse. They find out that she had been cursed all along with a family curse. So she brought that curse with her onto the road, into the house, and everybody else is being cursed. So they had to find a way to figure that out to get out the house, right? Similar to
the previous episode.
Previous episode.
Yeah.
And then once they're out of the house, a lot of things happen in this episode. That was the first thing I thought of after we finished watching it. I was just like, a lot of stuff happened in this episode. So before I get too far into what happened after that, let's go ahead and where you want to start. Did you like this episode?
Again, it was okay. You know,
Okay.
There was parts of it I liked and parts of it I didn't like. So it's like it averages out to like, okay.
I think I liked it. I think there was just enough random different things that happened that made me like it. Like at the end of the day, it's like I almost forgot about Kitty and then the summoning of Aubrey Plaza. Like by the time I got to the end of the episode, I had almost completely almost completely forgot like that happened in the same episode.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll say that I like this episode.
But see, I feel like that's a little problematic. Like they put so much into one episode.
Yeah, but it wasn't like it was so much bad stuff. It was just a lot. So it was just like, I feel like it was, generally speaking, it was a lot of good stuff. So it was just like maybe too much, but it's kind of hard to say that it's like too much good stuff. I guess it's like you ate too much candy at Halloween and it was all good, but then you felt sick afterwards.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the thing. So where do we want to start? Dislikes, likes? Tell me.
Okay, we can start with dislikes.
Okay.
So So at first when they saw the house, I was like, ooh, another house. Right? And then they go into the house, and then that was kind of like a half like, half dislike, because they all switch clothes again. Right?
Basically the same exact thing that happened in the previous episode.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, we're doing this again? Like, this is exactly what just happened. So I was like, and then so anyway, as we go through their time in this house, just for the most part, I was like, I don't like this story. I don't like to me, it was just, I don't know. I just didn't really like the whole situation in the house.
I didn't. So, okay. So I didn't mind the situation in the house. I think it might have just been too soon, considering that you're singing. So basically what they had to do, what they figured out, is that they had to actually sing the song that was created by Alice's mother.
Yeah.
Because it was some sort of protection spell at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And the reason why she's still alive at the end of the day is because the song was so popular. At any given time, someone in the world is singing that song. So that's what's keeping Alice alive. So they had to perform this song to break the curse from her and them, because some of the other witches then got right. But when I say it was too soon, one, they were just singing 2 episodes ago, and two, I haven't heard enough from Alice to make me care.
But
like, I didn't care.
And this, to me, this went back to the everything that we see in every episode. Like, it's too convenient. So now all y'all know, 2 of y'all know how to play guitar. 1 of y'all knows how to play the drums, and one knows the piano.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So more singing.
Mm-hmm.
More singing was one of the things that I dislike. And this version of the song, I actually didn't like this version of the song. They may mention that it was a slightly different version than the other song that they were singing. This was more of a rock, 70s rock themed, and that's kind of how they were dressed.
Yeah, the theme was very like disco.
So it's almost like every episode they're going to a Halloween party, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's kind of what the vibe I'm getting. So they were all dressed in like 70s.
Yeah, like disco.
But even like, I feel like I see some of the old footage from the 70s. Even the people doing the, well, I guess it's still disco, but more of the rock, light rock type stuff from the 70s. They were still kind of dressed that way. Bell bottoms and vest and whatever. So anyway, yeah, it was just, I was like, at first I was like, no, we're not going to sing again. Right. And then they didn't. And right. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then it was like, oh, no, we singing again. And I'm like,
yeah.
And then, like I said earlier, more secrets. Mm-hmm. So we had the conversation, not the conversation, but what Agatha said to Kitty in the beginning, which is, I didn't think you had it in you.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Yeah.
Who knows? Right. And then there's more weirdness between her and Aubrey Plaza's character
while they're in the house,
and outside, and just all of these weird things that are not being explained about their relationship. They start talking in code, to each other. They did it multiple times throughout the show, where it's like, you know what I'm trying to say without me saying a whole lot, and I'm not going to say it, which means we don't know what they're talking about. And then the way Agatha was acting when Teen got hurt. Yeah. Like, she flipped out.
Yeah, she flipped out.
But that was also one of those things where it was like, this is a little too predictable, because it was one or two things. It was either that's her son, which they kind of alluded to in the last episode.
Yep.
Or this is just somebody who you feel some kind of weird attachment to because you lost your son, or gave away your son, or whatever happened to your son.
Sold him for a book.
Right. So it was going to be one of those two things. And at the end, I don't know if we know for sure, but it was kind of told that's not her son.
Yeah.
Right. I've done 2 in a row. What you got?
So I'm done with dislikes.
Oh, well, I got one more dislike.
Oh, okay.
We saw Jen's abilities again.
Oh, yeah.
To create some sort of healing potion because again, teen got hurt.
Yep.
Real bad. He was bleeding out, and he had been bleeding out. Still playing the guitar, singing while bleeding out. So she had to make another potion to heal him. Great, cool. I want the witchy, right? You said this witchy. I want the witchy stuff. However, you've explained that Kitty was a green witch and that Aubrey Plaza's character is the green witch. What do these other people do?
Yeah.
I mean, we're almost halfway through the season, and it's like I don't know what anybody does except for Jen. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, she's the only one she's been saving the day, so to speak, multiple times now. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have this specific role, and you've shown what that role does and what you're supposed to do and what you can do. These other people could have been anybody.
Yeah.
It could have been me out there. Except I don't know how to play the guitar, so I wouldn't have been no help.
No.
So go ahead. We can go ahead and go to your likes.
So a couple of things here. I didn't mind seeing Aubrey Plaza show back up. I mean, I was hoping in the back of my mind, I was like, I hope it's Kitty again. I hope she just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
They said that
yeah.
when it was coming out. Is that you?
Yeah. And that's what I was hoping for. I was like, but then when I saw her, I was like, okay, like, we'll see.
So I have that down as one that I like, that she came back. But then at the same time, Kitty is gone.
I know.
So this goes back to kind of what I was saying in episode 1, where this is Marvel TV, not Marvel Studios. Mm-hmm. So is this just a budget thing? Because Aubrey Plaza's character has been gone since episode 1.
Yeah.
Right? Was she in 2 a little bit?
I think she was in the very beginning of 2.
But generally speaking, she's been gone. She wasn't in 3 at all.
No.
Right? So now all of a sudden, Kitty's dead, has no lines, no nothing in 4, and all of a sudden, Aubrey Plaza's character is popping back up. Mm-hmm. Or maybe there's some connection there that I don't know about. Maybe they're the same person. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen at the end of this? Because I feel like there's opportunity for a bunch of weird stuff to happen. Mm-hmm. Right? So I have that down as something that I like, that she came back. Don't necessarily like that it felt. Oh man, we see this sometime on Star Trek, where there's just episodes where people are just missing.
Yeah,
and it doesn't even make sense that they're missing.
Yeah, and it's not really mentioned.
It's not mentioned. About. It's not talked about. People are just missing, and then like they come back 3 episodes later. Mm-hmm. So I'm used to this, but it's very clear, and this was very clear and obvious. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the other thing I liked about this is, I don't know if you want to I don't want to say the end. It was almost like, I don't know if you want to call it the third act or whatever.
All right.
I know. But there was several things that happened, towards the last third of the show or whatever that I liked. One was, when Teen wakes up, mm-hmm. First of all, one thing that I liked is I feel like we saw a softer side of Agatha here. Like,
of everybody. But her in particular, because she's been kind of the mean one. Mm-hmm. And so seeing her soften a little bit is I mean, she started off being mean.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was like, all right, she's dead. R.I.P. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as the episode went through, we started seeing the softer side. So, but when he wakes up and he says, there's a couple things that happen really close together. He says, what really happened to your son? Mm-hmm. And her face just completely changed. She got serious and kind of mean again, mm-hmm. and, walked off or said, heal up fast, whatever. And then, they're having this round discussion about scars or whatever. And she mentions, again, it's kind of a secret or code or whatever, to your point, but Aubrey Plaza basically gives us a little bit by saying, I hurt somebody. It's mm-hmm. clear she's talking about Agatha. Mm-hmm. They walk off, they embrace. We've been getting little hints, I feel like, that they were a couple or there's something, mm-hmm. But we didn't see anything for sure. I feel like this was the moment where they made it clear, like, yeah, they had a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And then right when they're about to embrace, she says, that boy's not yours, or whatever she said.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And just the look on Aubrey Plaza's face, oh my gosh, I love her sometimes. So now again, at the very end, I'm just like, what's about to happen? Who is this kid? To me, it would seem to make more sense that that's not her son, because it seems too obvious. But I don't, you never know.
Yeah, but you don't know who it is. And they actually talked about the sigil.
Yes.
Right. He asked, like, who put it on, and did you put it on? And Agatha said no. And then she said, well, I wouldn't really know, because it kind of blocks and suppresses for the person who cast it, plus the person who it was cast on.
Yes.
So, like, it still could be.
It still could be.
Like, who knows? At this point, nobody knows who this boy is. Not necessarily Aubrey Plaza's character, but the other witches don't know who he is either.
Right.
Because it's redacting,
Yeah.
when he tries to tell them who he is too. So, and
I had that down, that the when he asked that, I liked that whole exchange.
So, I mean, I don't have, I went through a couple of, one of the main other things I liked is that there was a little more action in this one. From summoning a new green witch to playing a song as a attack on a curse. The curse manifested itself in a physical form. There was fire and flames, and there was a battle kind of ensuing between the song and the curse.
I wonder, when that was happening and, she was drawing the circles around him,
mm-hmm.
I wonder if that was her power.
Maybe, but it still wasn't. Well, here's the deal. I just feel like none of these people really have the full extent of their power,
mm-hmm.
right? But what they started the journey off by saying is what he said was, well, we're just gonna have to do it old school, meaning incantations. We got to do it the hard, long way versus just wave my hand and stuff happens, right? Because I have all my power. So I would assume that anybody can do anything that was happening out there, assuming that you know the incantation,
right?
So I don't really know if that was her specific powers, or it's like specific to her, or she just happened to know it. I don't know, which is part of my problem with it.
Yeah. Right.
Explain to me who does what. So, right. Some of this stuff makes sense. But like I said, more action. A lot happened. I talked about that earlier. I like that a lot happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it would have cut off right after they were finished singing, I would have been like, yo. I would have said I didn't like that episode,
mm-hmm.
right? Because it was too similar to the previous two episodes.
Yeah,
right. And then I talked about Aubrey being back, but it to me it wasn't just her being back; it was that she was back and she had personality. Because the original version of her as the FBI agent, was bland. It was lame. It wasn't anything to her
mm-hmm.
there. This one, she has a specific personality, even though it's a little crazy.
Yeah.
Right. But at least it's something, and it's something different, especially if you're going to replace Kitty, who was, like I said, in the last show, she was loud and boisterous and kind of crazy. So you're going to have to be something more to replace her. But like I said, generally speaking, this episode, like I said, I didn't care. Maybe her mom's, what happened with her mom in the previous episode, talking about what Alice.
Yeah.
Was supposed to be so shocking that I cared in the next episode that this had to do with her mom and whatever, but I didn't care. Especially when the part that confused me is that they showed her fear being the mom drinking the poison.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Cause I don't know what I can say on YouTube and what I can't say on YouTube. But drinking the poison and unaliving herself.
Yeah.
Right. But then when they talked about what actually happened to her mom, there was a fire.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, what did the drinking the poison have to do with anything? So it's just like that. So that just made that, like, maybe that's why I didn't care, because it's like that's not even what happened to her mom. So it's like it was kind of confusing.
Yeah, that's true.
So
well, and I feel like next we're gonna see something with Lilia.
yeah, I mean, I think they're just gonna go right down the line here, right?
Well, because she keeps this episode. Remember, she kept like just randomly saying stuff, and she didn't even know she was saying it.
Yeah, she feels like she was the only other person affected in the last house.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel I'm betting you she's next on the next episode.
And then Kitty is last.
Kitty better come on back, get it together.
For real.
So.
So anyway, you ready? You ready for it? Because I feel like there wasn't that big of a clip. I feel like saying that's not your son wasn't really a big cliffhanger. To me, it wasn't. It's just like then we're right back to where we were.
Yeah.
Like, who is this boy? Like, we didn't know who the boy was last episode or the episode before that or the episode before that. He's been in every episode.
I just want to see what the next conversation is.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
There might not be any. You might not get it for a couple more episodes.
Yeah. Could be.
Yeah. So anyway.
All right. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for listening to ANX Quickcast. If you enjoyed the show, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we release new episodes. See you next time.
Let my songs teach you.